or something in my heart told me you need to do it, because this particular person just kind of like just made me want to do it. All right, it's about Nature Boy. For those that don't know Nature Boy, he's the brother that went out to Costa Rica and supposedly living a natural life, walking naked in the jungle, living off the land, so to speak, etc., etc.
The Moors like to play the paper game. You think these lower self crackers give a fuck about papers and law? Y'all some idiots.
It's confusing. You know, it's like anything that somebody doesn't understand. Very often people dismiss things without reading. What I would suggest, if somebody has a complaint about any paperwork, the first thing they should do is point out the facts that's on it that they consider, not consider, but from a knowledge perspective, can declare lie or false. And if they haven't said that, they're not qualified to critique anything. They're not qualified to critique a Hershey wrapper if they don't know anything about chocolate.
If you a man, you go take your freedom, homie. The only paper game I'm playing with these crackers is give me my money that I need to get through y'all passes, and give me my passport and make it into the jungle. When I make it into the jungle, I'm done with the paperwork, homie. I'm home. Once I make it home, I'm done with the paperwork, bruh. You can't let the devil come in, because it's going to come in through her. These women although they appear to be black and you having babies with them, you're not a man in America. You're not allowed to be a man in America. Only kind of man you're allowed to be is a European man.
Criticism is good when it's constructive. But when people are criticizing with no knowledge to really defend their ignorance, then that's not qualified. And therefore the question must even be qualified. Because paperwork, it's like these same people that are talking about paperwork fill out paperwork every day with the European, from licenses to birth certificates, everything that causes them injury. And the paperwork we put out begins to correct their status to fix these things. And so if someone has a criticism about the paperwork, then they should do it intellectually and not with their egos, because of trying to indirectly defend their own ignorance. Because a blank statement without qualification itself is fraudulent, banal, and juvenile.
Facts. You be a black man, you end up in jail. A real black man is against that system innately in his being. You a man, you don't need to ask nobody permission to be free. We came here to be free. We want to be free. You ain't gotta play no paperwork game. Oh, you need the green paper to go get the blue paper, to go get the pink paper, to give him the white paper, then fill this out, and then you gotta give him this paper, and then number these numbers, and this law, you're gonna have to make the white man. Fuck all that. Playing no fucking paper game with you, homie. Paper come from trees and plants. Fuck is you talking about? You play that cracker game if you want, nigga. I'm a man. I'm gonna play it enough to get where I need to go and get free. Fuck is you talking about, homie? Fucking play the game, the paper game. Hey, sign this paper, fill this white paper out, take it over here to get the green paper, then go over here and get the yellow paper just to get the blue paper, and then you go over here and take that blue paper to get the green paper, and then you got fuck that game, man.
Now, and I have this to say about the critiques, those who critique. Criticism is good when it comes from an intelligent mouth. Criticism is good when they have something better to put in its place. Criticism is good. Don't criticize paperwork unless you can prove it to be a lie. And I can talk even recently, and I have a track record with many people who have been remedied with the paperwork that these juveniles are criticizing. Now again, I don't reject criticism. I reject ignorant criticism. I reject people who can't read criticizing. I reject people who don't know law and history criticizing law and history. I criticize or reject a person that don't know anything about mechanics criticizing a mechanic. That's the issue. Do you understand? Not the criticism itself, but blank, unqualified statements from juveniles who can't read, who don't know history, who don't know that law and history go together, and because they have no courage whatsoever, they pontificate by criticizing the works of others who put their neck out on the line, even for them. Because if they would read the paperwork, they would support it.
Fuck money. I hate money. I hate their system. I hate everything about it. So I got the $300,000. It's all gone now. I don't have no more to give. You can't join me unless you have something to offer me. Somebody gave me $300,000 and I gave it all back to those people. That everybody that came here, I took care of them. And I'm still taking care of the people here. Am I not?
Facts. That's a fact.
You guys are here, right?
Yeah, facts.
From day one, have you ever spent any dollar? No. How much money would you say I spent? Just on y'all, just on you since you've been here. If you had to tally up a number. Just one person.
I don't even know.
Thousands on thousands. A lot. Thousands on thousands. A lot of money.
So, Key, how much money did I spend?
300,000. 300,000. Like that.
300,000. I'm a clown. I'm a fucking clown, my nigga. Everybody that's a Moor. Everybody that's a Moor. We need y'all to stand up right now. More where we are in Costa Rica, standing up for natural rights. We need y'all to stand up. All the Moors, all the black power, all over the internet right now. This is the time we need y'all to stand up for us. We need this. Humanity needs this. All that talking shit don't mean nothing. We need it right now. We're not trying to hear that. All y'all do is talk. We're trying to bring action to the situation. We need human rights. We need the option to live in harmony with nature. Without somebody coming to tell us they could kidnap us and harness us for farming. We're tired of being fucking farm animals, bro. We done wised up. This generation is wising up. The new generation out here, the 90 indigos, it's time to stand up. I need y'all to share this video. It's going down right now. I'm not playing. We tired of the paper game. Look at them with their little bucks and their little fucking badges. We're tired of this shit, bro. We could turn this over. There's no government. We are the government. We are the government. I'm tired of it. We gotta stand up, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm in Costa Rica. I'm in my natural environment. I'm not going back to an unnatural environment. They're not gonna send me back, bro. I'm not letting these people send me back to an unnatural environment. All the Moors that stand for law, I don't want to hear it. I'm talking about laws of nature, my outlaws. All the Africans, all the Canadians, all the French people, all the people that believe in human rights. I need y'all on this. We don't want to hear the talking. We need this on CNN now.
Can I speak? Hello, my name is Joel Martinez. I'm an officer of immigration, right?
Officer of immigration.
My partner say you don't have no problem. He say the only problem you have that you say you want to get rebel. You don't want to sign nothing what he want to sign for.
We just want to speak to the news.
That's right. No, he say the only thing he want to do you is notificate you for make you can go. That is the only.
We don't want to sign no papers. You just want to let this go.
So he say, is you don't want to sign the documents for make you go. He say we pass it to the government, so the government will hold you up more, my friend. So I just give you it easy.
No, we're not leaving here until we talk to the. We want to talk.
You nowhere, my friend. You're not going nowhere. They're not going to pray you nowhere, my friend. They're not going to give you a number where I don't know. I just explain to you what my partner them say. They say you can sign the document, each one what they're going to make you sign, and you can go free. That is not no problem.
We do not want to sign any documents. We don't want to sign no papers.
To get the notification, my friend, well, they all will take you to the government in the center.
Okay, take us to the government.
So they will take care of it.
Take us to the government.
This is the option what they can
take us to the government because we're not here about paperwork. We're not here to be silenced.
Difficult?
We're not. Okay, this is the one. No. We want to make it difficult. We want to make things difficult. We want to make it difficult. Because they coming in talking about all you got to do is sign a piece of paper. Obviously, we hitting something right now. And we need to penetrate that all the way. I didn't come here to be silenced. I didn't come here to be silenced. I want everybody to know that you are free. You're free. You are a human being on this earth and you are free. I am protected by a force that's bigger than them. They can't fuck with God. They can't fuck with the angelic beings that surround this van right now. They can't fuck with us. I want you to know you have to stand up and not be a slave. All of you. You are free. I'm not signing what?
They weren't even saying that shit 30 minutes ago.
They were saying that we was going to jail 30 minutes ago. Now they come in and say, okay, we want to negotiate with you. No, you're going to take us back to where we came from, and we're going to walk out this van, and you're going to leave us the fuck alone. That's what you're going to do. Or we want to speak to the press. We want peace video, because at the end of the day, I just want everybody to know right now to share this video right now, because we don't know what's going to happen to us. And what happened to us is happening to you. What happened to us right now is going to happen to you. I'm not signing shit. And every motherfucker that's a warrior out there that talk about how hard you are, you want to be a thug and kill a black person or kill your brother or kill your sister or kill another white person, I don't give a fuck who you are. This is thug shit right here. This the thug shit right here. This when it's time to be a thug, my nigga. When you stand up to the government, to the powers that be, this how we change shit. We gotta stay together, bro. And I'm not talking about protesting or nothing. I'm talking about for real, standing like, yo, bro, we ain't gonna do shit. We gonna shut this whole thing down. We shutting everything down. Y'all got the power. You have every right to have fresh water. Everything in nature has its own food. It eats for free. What do you mean you gotta pay to live? They put money in front of your life. You even gotta pay to die. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, they're gonna come get me right now, bro. Stop it, come on! Chill out, bro! Hang on!
Mac, don't touch him!
Let's go, come on, everybody off,
Don't push him! Don't push him!
Get out the fucking house!
Don't touch him! Meg! Don't punch him! Meg, don't punch him, baby! Don't punch him! Meg, don't
You want it like this. Stay there. Are you going out the bus? We're good. Okay. We're cool.
I'm coming out.
Wait.
I'm coming out.
Wait. Come out.
Coming out.
No violence. You make it higher. No violence. Don't listen.
And as we've been living without, right now, I want you to know we live independent of the United States of America. We're off grid. We live in the jungles of Mexico, what you would call Mexico, right? And we live out here independently. We're African-American people.
In the mid-1960s, white America was hearing for the first time the proud declaration, Black is beautiful. And with the right to vote finally secured, it was time for Black power. Negro and colored were rewritten to simply Black. Negro and colored remained in the names of some of the older organizations, but they otherwise disappeared from the written or spoken word in America. After 20 years of Black, Jesse Jackson and some leading scholars decided in the late 1980s that it was time for the final name change to African American. At a news conference, Jesse Jackson called to announce a campaign with the goal of establishing the term African American as the proper descriptive term. He said, just as we're called colored, but we're not that, and then Negro, but we're not that, to be called Black is just as baseless. Black tells you about skin color and what side of town you live on. African American evokes discussion of the world. Jesse Jackson went on to say that day, every ethnic group in this country has a reference to some land base, some historical cultural base. Roger Wilkins, 10 years older than Jesse Jackson and the leader of the Civil Rights Movement, one of the leaders of the Civil Rights Movement, embraced the change to African American. In 1989, he told Isabel Wilkerson for a New York Times report, whenever I go to Africa, I feel like a person with a legitimate place to stand on this earth. This is the name for all the feelings I've had all these years. And so it is understandable that people like me, people like Joy Reid, who you just heard, who lived through some of those name changes, think of African American as being coined sometime in the 1980s. We now know that that's wrong by about 200 years. Thanks to a report by Jennifer Schuessler in today's New York Times, we now know that the first recorded use of the term African American was 1782. It was found recently by Fred Shapiro, an associate director at the Yale Law School Library, who discovered an advertisement in the Pennsylvania Journal on May 15th, 1782, announcing the sale of printed copies of 2 sermons written by the African American.
Not living off the government at all. We are actually out here. If I could turn this screen around for you, just to show you that it's not a game and like what we're doing. This is where we live at. I don't know if you can see on YouTube, but we live out here and we live in like a fruit garden. Did you see that screen? I don't know if you've seen the screen or not.
Yeah, I see it. I see it lovely.
And so we are actually here, and we've been here for years.
But something in my heart told me you need to do it because this particular person just kind of like just made me want to do it. All right, it's about Nature Boy. For those that don't know Nature Boy, he's the brother that went out to Costa Rica and supposedly living a natural life, walking naked in the jungle, living off the land, so to speak, etc., etc.
Not living off the government at all. We are actually out here. If I could turn this screen around for you, just to show you that it's not a game and like what we're doing. This is where we live at. I don't know if you can see on YouTube, but we live out here and we live in like a fruit garden. Did you see that screen? I don't know if you've seen the screen or not.
Yeah, I see it. I see it lovely.
And so we are actually here, and we've been here for years. And as we've been living right now, I want you to know we live independent of the United States of America. We're off grid. We live in the jungles of Mexico, what you would call Mexico, right?
All right. How I found out about Nature Boy is, I think through, it was somebody, I really can't remember right now, but I found out about him and I actually liked his videos. I think he came with a lot of information that's truthful. I say it like that. All right. But I started to notice that his ego, his arrogance started really raising out of the roof. And it kind of started to turn me off.
And we've been sending out this message to our people. And let me say this. And I want to say this, that I want to give a shout out to the Honorable Noble Drew Ali. Because without Noble Drew Ali, we wouldn't have advanced at the time of darkness we was in. For that prophet to come, and illuminate us. We were broken. He gave us hope and strength and education, and we respect that. We absolutely respect that, and we want to say that we acknowledge all the work that he put in to bring us together. We acknowledge it. We respect it. That's probably why we're doing this download, or my reflections. My master teachers, they want to do the download because they got so much respect for the Honorable Noble Drew Ali that we felt that our knowledge that Noble Drew Ali has brought us to a certain point in time with his knowledge. And it was useful at that time. And like any other software or knowledge, it must evolve and be fulfilled. We can't live off of knowledge that was good at a certain amount at a certain time.
People do that. He said that he's naked in front of his kids, that it's natural, that it's normal, which nudity is normal. You know, I agree with him on that part. But this guy went to a point where he was talking about, I make love to my baby mama in front of my kid while he's breastfeeding, or just in general, I have sex in front of my kids, you know. And this is where he got me, man. The brother said, and you know what? I'm gonna try to find the video and I'm gonna link it in the description below after the video upload. But he said after sex, and this is where you fucked up, Nature Boy. This is where you really fucked up. He said after sex, his son comes up and plays with his penis. And it's natural, it's normal, it's pure. Now, here's the problem. It's pure on the child's behalf because they don't know. They don't understand. They don't understand boundaries. There is no boundaries in a child's mind, right? You're pure. You don't understand this. But you, as a grown man, and you could say that Babylon made you restricted or made you this way or set boundaries on you and all this other crap. But at the end of the day, you are a grown man. You're a grown man and you choose to let your son play with your penis. That doesn't sit right with, that's not going to sit right with anybody. Anybody who accepts that and still follows you after that, still follows this guy after that fact, that's a problem. You have problems. You fail to see the problem. Like, there's boundaries in everything that you do, okay? People want to talk about natural law. Natural law does apply to many things, but there are boundaries.
This guy's a fucking maniac, all right?
We must evolve, and the knowledge was to get us from a point A to a point B. And I think that where we're at now is the advancement of that knowledge, but people are staying in a time capsule of knowledge that has been transcended and are not willing to grow because of comfort and because they're paying attention to laws and they're paying attention to the fights that we had to fight at a certain time and place. But where we're at in the time and place, we have to evolve and fulfill and do more. You can't just get a license plate and be telling cops off every now. You got to get up out of there. The door's open now. You can get a passport. You can leave. You know, like we did. And we're just African-American people that have advanced.
How have you advanced if you're calling yourself African-American and Noble Drew Ali told you, since you honor him so much, that you're not Negro, black, colored? Which African-American would fall under those things that you're not supposed to be?
The knowledge that we want to make sure that our ancestor, Noble Drew Ali, did not do his work in vain.
Why? Why would you use Noble Drew Ali's name, claiming you honor him, when you're calling yourself the same nigger brands that Noble Drew Ali died in vain teaching our people that they're not. Because obviously he died in vain because these dumb Negroes still call themselves black, African, and all that BS that they're not supposed to call themselves.
But anyway, I watched the video and, you know, I just charged it to the game. Like, okay, he had his opinion about morals. Cool, moving on. I still watched a few videos because, again, like I said, man, that don't really stop me from, you know, viewing someone's material just because they gave their opinion or they became a little emotional about something about me or, you know, one of my family members or, you know, whatever. So I just charged it to the game. All right. After that video Nature Boy did, I looked at it like this. I started to hear about him going to Costa Rica, well, being in Costa Rica and Melanation being arrested, which was very unfortunate, all right? It was unfortunate. Everything about that situation was unfortunate, but I'm here to show you how I came today to make this video, all right? It's because I commented on a video that a brother was traveling. Nature Boy made a comment basically being very arrogant and egotistical to what the brother was doing. And I wanted to motivate the brother. And I guess when he got my comment, he took it as a diss to him personally. Okay? And he made a video dissing Moors. Now, this is my assumption because of the way it happened. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm pretty much dead on. So once he did a video again, hey, I charged it to the game. I still looked at his videos. But when the unfortunate situation came down with him and Melanation, I really didn't want to do a video. What made me do this video is because this nigga was still cocky and arrogant after they didn't kill his motherfucking ass.
I think that he would want us to evolve Marcus Garvey would want us to evolve to eventually leaving out of the man system and living in a way that we're independent of his system. And not saying that the man can't come over here and fuck with us, because he can, right? But we would rather take our freedom than ask for it. And when it came time for him to come fuck with us, that we die fighting.
This guy's a fucking maniac, all right?
Rather than be slaves. And that is what carbonation is about. We do not want to disrespect anyone's belief system or anyone's master teacher. We clearly are saying that we just want to maybe help you with the knowledge that we have as a people collectively. You know that you got some African American and brown people that have came outside that system, that's reaching back to the less fortunate that might not have the knowledge that we have. And that's all we're trying to do.
How have you advanced if you're calling yourself African American and Noble Drew Ali told you, since you honor him so much, that you're not Negro, black, colored? Which African American would fall under those things that you're not supposed to be?
I know it's been a lot of controversy on me, but that is my goal. Now, I've been through a lot of shit. I got a background, as you can see. I ain't perfect. I ain't flawless, but I'm perfect. That's what we trying to do, man. We trying to ask the Moors to look into the knowledge, man. We got facts for you. It's more knowledge. Let's not let Honorable Noble Drew Ali be in vain.
Okay. He was still arrogant and still cocky, still egotistical. This guy's a fucking maniac, all right? He couldn't humble himself, all right? It comes a time in a man's life where he has to mature, he has to humble himself and see where he made a mistake, all right? I've owned up to my mistakes as a man, and I will continue to do it if I make a mistake, all right? But then you got some brothers that just cannot own up to their mistakes, all right?
I think he took us from one point to where he could take us to at the time. But let's now advance the knowledge. All we're doing is offering you knowledge to look at. You could disagree or you could take it, but it was our responsibility because we're living this knowledge to advance and honor Marcus Garvey, honor the noble Drew Ali, to honor Booker T. Washington, to honor our ancestor and their knowledge, to advance it. That's what white people do. That's what they do. They take Einstein's theory and they advance it, right? And it doesn't disrespect Einstein because collectively they trying to find out what's the next best thing. And so we must advance as well. We must come out, not to disrespect Islam or anything, but Islam is kind of outdated. It really is.
This nigga was still cocky and arrogant after they didn't kill his motherfucking ass. Okay. He was still arrogant and still cocky, still egotistical. This guy's a fucking maniac, all right? He couldn't humble himself, all right? It comes a time in a man's life where he has to mature, he has to humble himself and see where he made a mistake, all right? I've owned up to my mistakes as a man, and I will continue to do it if I make a mistake, all right? But then you got some brothers that just cannot own up to their mistakes, all right? So right now what I believe he's doing is he's repairing his ego. That's why I'm making the video now, because this guy hasn't humbled himself at all, and he continues to be the same nature boy.
We're spitting out some real knowledge, and people are turning what we're talking about into entertainment. People are drowning my past to cover up what I'm saying because they hear the message is so powerful. So they say, let's talk some dirt about him so that we don't have to listen to what he's saying. We're not going to address the knowledge. We're going to talk about him and act like we didn't hear the knowledge so that we can go back into our laziness and comfort and our ignorance. But the thing is, once you hear the truth, it's kind of hard to ignore. So you got to keep hating on me. You got to keep finding something. You got to keep, but inevitably, in the end, you will see that what we're saying to you and what we're saying to you was the truth. And we were just you, warning you of it, what's going on. God is not a guy in the sky. God is not a man. Allah, you're praying to an invisible man and treating your brother like crap. I am God. We are God. You're talking to God. God is talking to itself when we're interacting with each other. We are the universe communicating to itself. To the Moors out there that keep holding on to that Quran, right. It's time to advance. Carbonation is the way. Carbonation is the way. And look, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Y'all don't have to honor me. You don't have to honor me. There's people here that already honor me. But you have to honor the truth. I urge you to debate me on any of my knowledge, any of it. And I'm talking about my knowledge. You cannot refute. You cannot debate. It is the truth. You could talk about me and my character and me being a product of my environment and my decisions makings and my mistakes and my shortcomings and try to judge that. But by telling people he's not fit to be our teacher because he's done this or he's done that, instead of listening to what I have to say, who cares who it comes through?
I heard this brother say he's gonna sue. I heard this brother say he's not going back to America when he was already in the Americas, which shows that he doesn't understand basic geography, okay? Because Costa Rica is a part of the Americas, all right? It's not North America, but it's a part of the Americas. He said, fuck America, all right? He said he wanted to call the media. I don't know why, because they never helped us, okay? The media, only thing they do is give you a bad name. Plainly said, they give you a bad name, all right? So I think this guy just started losing his fucking mind, all right? I'm just being real with it. I'm going to keep it rough, rugged, and raw because, you know, that's how it is right now.
And I see these brothers being intellectual on these platforms, and I'm like, yo, I be trying to talk to Ben and Ben X and the Nation of Islam. I be wanting to reason and ask questions. You can't argue with our knowledge. Our knowledge is irrefutable. And that's all we doing is proving that we right. But guess what? You're wrong because you did this in your past. Look at what you did. Then you said you did this, you did that, you did that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you trying to cover over the knowledge? Right. Going down right now. You see that? See dude right there with that gun? We at immigration. I'm gonna let y'all know the whole scoop this way. Reflection, listen to me very clearly. I don't got a lot of time. We are right now in the immigration van in Costa Rica, Limon, Costa Rica. You feel what I'm saying? The whole melanation is in here.
This guy's a fucking maniac, all right?